Hello, my name is Ben,
And my name is Josh.
and welcome back to FPL Graduates. Now, it's a last minute game week. What is it, 15 we're going into?
I think so. There's been so many that it's just a bit busy, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
craziness.
I mean, FPL Fridays. I mean, it wasn't going to happen realistically yesterday, was it?
Nah.
I hope everyone had a good Christmas and all that. Yeah, we'll look straight into game week 15. And what sort of changes have you made, Josh?
I think I've made 3 transfers this week. I've done it in almost like bit part. So I made 2, and then I made one this morning just before the game week deadline. Obviously, it's at 11 a.m. So if you're watching this, make sure you get your team ready before the 11 a.m. deadline. So I've done the Mo Salah transfers, as I spoke about earlier in the week. I brought Mo Salah and Keenan Davis in and took Jack Grealish and Jamie Vardy out. And then for the defensive change, Reece James apparently might miss both of the games in the next 2 weeks. Well, the next 2 game weeks. So I've brought him out, brought in John Stones, and that leaves me enough money in the bank to go from Aaron Cresswell straight up to Andrew Robertson. So that's going to be pretty tasty going into next week.
Yeah, big moves. I know a lot of people have been bringing in Andy Robertson. I think he's the 3rd most transferred player in this week, or 2nd, somewhere up there. 250k fans already bringing him in, and it leaves me to wonder, especially in my team, whether the cover I'm bringing in is going to be worth it defensively. Who do you think are going to get the points for your team this week then?
Obviously, Mo Salah. If he doesn't get at least a double-digit return, I'll be very disappointed. But because I've brought him in, he's returned every week since he had COVID. I think Kevin De Bruyne needs to step up in that Manchester City team because they've not really played too well. I know Gabriel Jesus and Kyle Walker are out with COVID, but I don't think that's much of an excuse. I think they have Aguero back. They have so much depth in that defence that it's not really an issue if Kyle Walker's not there. So those two mainly. I reckon we'll see a good Bruno return against Leicester. They're not the best defensively either.
Yeah, interesting. I'll go into what my team's going to be. I made a couple of transfers as well. I didn't take the -4 though because I had 2 teams ready to go. So yeah, this is what my team is looking like right now. As you can see, Forster is starting. Now, there is a bit of logic behind that because I've got McCarthy on my bench. And I think it was you that advised me to do this in case McCarthy plays and gets a red card and then Forster comes in and we don't take the minus points. I think it's a pretty standard move, isn't it, from a lot of FPL managers to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, with the double off of the same team, it's just smart because if McCarthy was to get like an own goal, or not an own goal, but a red card, you'd want Forster in over him.
Yeah, so the other change that I have made is I've taken out Cresswell and brought Matip in. Now, I didn't really know which defender I wanted to bring out, but Cresswell had to be the one to make way for Matip because he frees up enough funds for me to bring him in. I'm hoping he stays injury-free, really, is what I'm hoping for. And going forward, he's a dangerous player. He gets attacking returns from corners. And we know set-piece deliveries from Liverpool have been pretty strong over the past, 3 or 4 seasons. So hoping for some returns there. Target Dallas and Walker-Peters as well in there. Very strong defence for this week. Salah captain, which is where everyone's going to be hoping for a return this week. I imagine that the captaincy will be at like 2 million owners, something like that.
Easily that.
Bruno Fernandes vice, which I imagine will also be popular, as well as someone like maybe Kevin De Bruyne being captain. Son and Kane, I'm hoping one of them returns. I don't see it being a high-scoring game, but we'll have to wait and see. And Calvert-Lewin against Sheffield United is very much a differential captain choice. I benched James Justin against Man United because I'm not sure whether he's going to get any defensive returns, especially Man United away from home. They tend to be quite dangerous.
Yeah, no, it looks very good this week for you. That Kane and Son double up is going to be interesting to see if they blank again. It's going to be alarm bells for you for sure.
Yeah, it'll be alarm bells, but the fixtures do look really nice, don't they?
They really do.
So we'll go into a fixture rundown and have a look at the fixtures that we got going on. I'll whack them on at the bottom, and what stands out to me, obviously, is the Liverpool versus West Brom game, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it's the penultimate game, I think, of the week. It happens tomorrow. It's weird how not all the games are being played on Boxing Day, but it happens tomorrow. Captaincy picks all left, right, and centre. If it's not Salah, I've seen a lot of people go for Firmino on our TikTok. A lot of people commenting him, and obviously Mane as well. So yeah, huge game that one for me personally. The 12:30 today, Leicester United. I think in terms of an FPL, if you own attacking assets from either of them, it's going to be quite a good game. I think it's going to be like a 2-1, a 2-2 or something like that. I feel like there's going to be a good few goals in there. Man United always concede, so they always seem to come back, especially away from home. So that's going to be very interesting in terms of the attacking assets.
Yeah, I mean, for early kickoff, Vardy and who's it, Bruno and all that. It's interesting to see Vardy's just gone down in price this morning, I think.
Yeah, after he got like a 12-pointer.
Yeah, even though he's returned in his last 4 game weeks.
Yep,
he's still gone down. Another one surely we'll be looking at is the Wolves Tottenham one, won't we? Because everyone has at least got Son or Kane.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, apart from you, maybe.
I have Son. You have to have him.
Yeah,
He's like 63% owned, so it's almost like you have to. Otherwise, whenever he's going to return, it's like the DCL situation. But it's not as bad with DCL anymore because it's not as high as a return. He doesn't seem to get in the bonus as much now, whereas before it used to be like a 7 to 9 pointer pretty much every week, so it was a bit mad. But yeah, and obviously I'm going to move on to the Man City Newcastle game. I think that's going to be quite huge. I think we could see a potential Burnley game where they win like 5-0 in this one. I think Newcastle don't look very good defensively this season, and although Man City have a couple players out, they still have their main ones in. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I saw a very cryptic tweet this morning from, I can't remember who it was on FPL, but they were just like, I don't think many City owners are going to be happy this week. So imagine the scenes if someone like De Bruyne gets benched this week. I mean, that'll be a disaster for a lot of managers, won't it?
Yeah, you can see it happening. It's not too deep in terms for me. Like, it's just going to be like he's on the bench for a week. But I can see him being benched at some stage over the next couple of weeks because there are so many fixtures, especially them being in the Carabao Cup too. I know he didn't play, but them having a lot of fixtures, it doesn't help matters.
Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be a game that Guardiola will be happy for De Bruyne to be benched, and surely it'll be someone like Newcastle at home. I mean, they're not providing much threat going forwards at the moment, and defensively they do not look great at all. So
exactly,
if it's going to be one game that he's going to be benched, it could be this game against Newcastle.
Yeah, 100%. That's just something you got to think about as a captain. I wouldn't be too bothered if he's just in your team sort of thing, like I have him.
Yeah, we'll go into must-have assets. Along the bottom is the most transferred in this week. A couple of interesting ones to see. Everyone hopping on that Salah train right now. And there's a few interesting ones, like Dallas has risen in price, hasn't he? So there's a couple of interesting sort of transfers in this week that you're not quite expecting would have happened.
Yeah, especially Kurt Zuma being one of them. I know they kept a clean sheet against West Ham, but before that, they looked very bad. Obviously, lost both of those games. And then even against West Ham, they didn't look very good at all. So that's quite interesting. That might be just a numbers pick sort of thing. Patrick Bamford getting transferred in by 300,000 managers after blanking against Man United as well. Like, that just goes to show how much he influences in terms of the amount of chances he has and stuff like that. But yeah, who would you be surprised by? I know there's Firmino on there.
Yeah, Firmino I'm quite surprised by, but then again, he has like the last couple of weeks since he got off that goal drought, he's actually looked really good as a FPL striker.
Yeah.
No one knows how long that's really going to last for, so I guess people are trying to hop on sooner rather than later, and it's a way of getting into that Liverpool sort of attacking front three without spending 12.5 million. So
12.6 now. He's going up again.
Yeah, he's gone up again. So Zuma's surprising based on Chelsea's injuries, in my opinion, because I don't see them keeping as many clean sheets as they have. And even when they come back in, I don't see them keeping as many clean sheets as before, because you need to be consistent in your back four to keep clean sheets, don't you? So
yeah,
I think that's a strange one, and it'll probably be one that non-Chelsea defensive owners will massively benefit from, because I don't see him keeping as many clean sheets and getting as many points as they have done previous weeks.
Yeah, not a chance. I know Aspilicueta will come in for Reece James, which is obviously a much more better defensive like change, but other than that, doesn't look too good. That's why I took Reece James out. If he weren't going to play for 2 games, I think taking the hit on that is more than worth it with John Stones, because he's almost certain to play. Hopefully, the pep roulette, doesn't screw me over.
You never know who's going to play.
But he didn't play in the week. Laporte and Diaz did, so I imagine he's almost certain to start this game.
I think it usually does give a good indicator who's starting based on who plays midweek. But
yeah,
I've seen in the past that Guardiola sometimes doesn't even do that and just
goes against the grain, doesn't he?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Game week 15 captain pick. Now, I think it's pretty obvious who the main man should be this week, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't have Mo Salah, it's going to be a behind the sofa watch for you this week. That's for sure, because he's at home. His home form is just ridiculous. He has not blanked since he's come back from having COVID. Liverpool look like they're about to set fire and just go on a rampage like they did last season. So it doesn't look good. But other options would be Bruno Fernandes. He's away from home. You can always count on him. Well, unless they're facing Sheffield United. And also Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously, there's the risk of rotation, as always, with Man City players. But he's probably a very good option as well.
Yeah, just got a quick one here. Will Chilwell start? We don't believe that he will start this week. We think he's probably going to miss this game? Maybe?
Yeah, Frank said for Reece and Ben that it's going to be like touch and go whether they're going to be featuring in both of these games. They might feature in maybe one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll get a lot of minutes if they do. And personally, for me, I'm a bit off of that Chelsea defence now. Like, the only reason I really wanted them was, Reece James especially, is for the attacking returns. It weren't anything to do with the defensive returns.
Yeah, I don't see him starting this week. I think he'll play Azpilicueta.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in terms of captain picks for me, obviously Salah has to be one. Bruno is in contention as well. Away, we know what he's like away. I know he's come off the back of some big performances recently for Man United.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a good option. Sheffield United away.
Bamford, he's got Burnley at home. I think if you're looking for someone a little bit different.
Yeah, there's a couple of like differential options to go for, but you have to have some cojones to do that. I mean, if you've not got Salah, then really it is, as you said, behind the sofa weekend for you, and you need to be getting those Christmas snacks and hoping that Salah doesn't return. Because I think if he does, then and you don't have him as captain, you're going to be seeing 200-400k drop in rank.
Yeah, just from one player. It's mental.
Yeah, so the deadline has passed now, so
we've hit
it. Hopefully, everyone's got their team sorted. I know I have. I know I had mine sorted a few days ago. I was very keen to get my transfers done. If we're looking at differential picks of the week, who are we saying is a good option to go for?
I was looking earlier because obviously I have the Andy Robertson money at the minute, just freeing about, and I have Giroud, and he's obviously not a certain starter. And I was looking, I can get Anthony Martial in. In his last 2 weeks, he's had double-digit hauls. So, and I think that's gone quite under the radar. I haven't really heard anything about it. I understand he's had a poor start to the season, but it looks like he might be picking it up a little bit. I think he scored 12 and 14 points respectively. So you take that all day long, especially if you owned him. I think he's probably, I'm not sure what his ownership is. I can check it right now, but I think he'd definitely be under 10%. I can't see him being much higher. I can't even check it because fantasy football is not working because of the deadline. But yeah, he's a good differential pick.
I'll go for a defensive one that I've got in my team at the moment, and I'm going to go for Matt Target of Aston Villa at 4.5 million. He's got Crystal Palace at home. I believe Villa defensively, actually, they're really solid this year. They're surprising as well. I think at the start of the season, we were like, should we really be going for Aston Villa? But they've recruited really well, and I think Target potential to get attacking returns. He always seems to be, if Watkins scores, it always seems to be through Target's cross or Target's delivery. Yeah, and he's got a cracking cross. So I'm going to say it's my differential Target. It's about 4% owned, I believe, and 4.5 at the moment. It's a bit of a steal, really, because other players in that team are going up. You see, Tyrone Mings went up this morning.
5.3 now.
That's expensive. That's expensive for a defender like that, especially one that it doesn't guarantee attacking returns, does he? So
no. Yeah, and he doesn't play in a very good team as well. Like you could understand if he played for like Liverpool or something like that, like Matip, for example. But I don't think he's anything better than Matip, and I'd definitely choose the cheapest option, like you said, with Matt Target.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go forward, especially with like those teams like Villa, Southampton, teams that are like flying high that are got a good value.
West Ham probably as well.
Yeah,
I reckon Kufal's probably a better pick over Cresswell just because you can save the money as well.
Yeah, I mean Cresswell hasn't done much, to be fair. He's got one attack and return in the time that I owned him. So, and I think Kufal probably had around about the same returns anyway. So having that extra 0.6 in the bank is probably worth.
You can do a lot with it.
Yeah. Right, we were going to look at the mini league, but the app's not working. So
yeah, that's good timing. Good timing.
Is it good timing?
Well, I think we saw it in the week. I can't remember his name. If we followed him on TikTok. Do you remember in the live stream? He popped into our live stream.
You probably know
Yunus. I don't know his surname. I don't know his team name. But he is definitely top of the manager of the week, especially. He's top of the league now. We're thinking of maybe getting him on at some stage or getting whoever's top on. So if you ever are top of our league, drop us a DM and we'll probably get you on an FPL Friday next week or the week after or whenever, because it will be good fun. And see how you make your team and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll try and reach out. It's a bit difficult, isn't it? Trying to reach out to FPL players who are top of our league, because we don't actually know who it is. So we only got to go off the name and the team name. So yeah, we'll try and get Yunus on. I know he's been in the TikTok lives a few times, so that'll be good to see the tactics that he's gone through this season to make him such a high rank. Because I imagine his overall rank is ridiculous as well.
Yeah, definitely has to be. I think he's like nearly on 800 overall points, so it must be really high. So yeah, and also if you're new to this YouTube channel and you're just tuning in, subscribe to us because we're nearly at 300 subscribers, and that would be a nice little Christmas present for me and Ben. So yeah, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already.
Yeah, so we'll have a look at a couple of comments. One of them says Joe Linton. I mean, really?
Yeah, it's not with Newcastle's fixtures. I was looking at Callum Wilson down from Giroud, and they have Manchester City, Liverpool, and Leicester in their next 3. So I would steer clear as much as possible out of Newcastle right now.
Can I still join your league, or is it too late?
You still join it. The code is, it's at the bottom of the screen, and you can join it. It's just that you have your points from when you join, not from the start of the season, which I don't know why they do. It's probably because then people can just join all the leagues if they're doing really well and just win them all. So, but yeah, you can still join us. Check out the code. It's on the little ticker at the bottom.
Yeah, it's a very competitive league at the moment. I think probably 10 points between first and second, if that.
Not even. It changes almost every week, the manager who's winning. So yeah, definitely go join. There's over 400, probably nearly even 500 people in there now. So
loads of people in there. So it's a tough league to climb up. I'm top 100 in it. I think I'm like 80th maybe in it. I'm climbing though. I'm chasing the pack. It's
good.
I mean, I don't know if the same could be said about you currently, but
yeah, hold your horses. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, well, you got to make sure you're at least in the race halfway through, don't you?
Mate, my midfield's going to carry me now the next few weeks. It's unbelievable scenes.
It's the perfect template midfield, but
exactly,
captaincy
choices.
Templates are there to be broken. Can't wait. I mean, I'm just hoping Mario starts this week, really. But I don't.
You've been hoping for that the last 4 weeks or something like that.
Well, if I'm consistently getting 70+ points a week, then I'll take a risk on Mahrez.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
You may as well, realistically.
Nothing like KDB, but we move.
Yeah. It's been matching the points as of late, so.
KDB's coming out today. He's going to do madness. Mark my word.
If he does come out today, I think a lot of people will be kicking themselves because I think he got sold quite a bit this week.
He's only like 24% owned, which for him is just ridiculous. Like he's the top point scorer last season, so I think he's definitely someone that people will look especially after this week, in the next couple of weeks, they'll look and see that they probably need to get him in.
Yeah, potentially become essential, which I don't want that to happen really, because it means I have to get rid of one of Son or Kane. So, talking of Son or Kane, shall I keep Kane and Son? Yeah, it's an interesting question, that.
I personally would only have one. I don't think the double up is essential, but they do go into a good run of fixtures. So whether you should keep them or not, it's a tough question. It depends. Like if De Bruyne goes and gets into the form of his life, like the next couple of weeks, then you have to ship off Kane probably, because he's the more expensive one. But I don't know. Personally, for me, I don't like having both. I think it's a waste of money. It's like nearly over 20 million on just the same team attackers. I don't think it's worth it.
I look at it the other way though. I look at it as so I've had Son and Kane both together for a while, and that Crystal Palace goal where Son assisted Kane set me up 150k, and for people who didn't have him, sent them, well, if they had one of them, I think having just Son or just Kane sent you down in ranking. It's crazy. Like you have an attacking return, it sends you down.
Yeah, Kane got into the bonus quite we got 3 bonus, I think, for that game, which was a bit mad.
If they get any sort of attacking return, they're always in bonus no matter what, because like no one else in that Tottenham team really does much, do they?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd look at it the other way as not having both of them. I think you should either have both of them or none, to be honest.
Interesting.
Because if they both return, then you need to have both of them to get an advantage from it. Whereas if you have one, you're not getting much out of it.
The thing is, though, as of late, we haven't seen the Son and Kane double up. Like it's not been Son and Kane. Like last time Son scored, it wasn't through Kane, as Kane blanked. So I don't think it's as dynamic duo as it was at the start, where they were beating teams. Like a lot of their returns came through that Southampton's game and the Man United game. That's what's boosted up their overall total points. So I don't think it's as cut and dry as what you're saying.
But
at the end of the day, it's literally it's a flip a coin. Like at the end of the day, you're going to get a lot of returns from both. So
yeah, you'll either get massively rewarded for having both or punished. But I've even when they're not returning, the other boys in the team just turn up.
Exactly. That's what you need though. You can't just rely on those two, because I don't think they're very reliable. Like, is they're either going to return a lot or they're not going to return at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some more returns over the coming game weeks, as the fixtures look very tasty, which is probably the main reason why I'm keeping them. I think I just know as soon as I get rid of one of them, they'll both get a hat trick or something same week. So
yeah, they're pretty explosive. But even as Tottenham as well, they're similar to Chelsea. They haven't looked great in their last 2 as well. I think they'll lose their last 2 games. So it's not looking good for those 2 teams, but we'll have to wait and see if they can pick it up, which I'm sure they will. Mourinho doesn't like losing in a row.
Yeah. So should we wrap that up for a game week review?
Game week preview. The Man United game kicks off at 12:30, so that'll be the first one for us. I've got just Bruno for me. Who is it for you?
I've got who Man United playing?
Leicester.
Yeah, I've got Bruno, and then I've got first on the bench Justin. So hoping maybe not for a return from Justin. Maybe if he gets a 5-6 pointer, it's not the end of the world, and I hope Mahrez doesn't play or something. But yeah, Bruno big, please, but not too big.
I don't think he'll be very high captain this week, to be fair. So I think
we'll have to wait for that tweet that
we have to see what FPL say.
But yeah, Bruno, cool. I'll take a goal from you this week.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so that wraps up another. It was an FPL Friday kind of Boxing Day special sort of game week review, all mashed up into one. Hope you enjoyed nonetheless. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And yeah, I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you
later. Have a good Boxing Day, everyone.